Welcome back. We are ready to start our next case, and this is an exciting one. Our victim went up in flames. But the question is, did she do this with the power of her own mind, or is someone trying to make us think she did? Let's see if we can figure it out. So, it's been a while. What were we doing? Let me see. We have nothing. No current case. I think we just solved the. Was it the second or the third one with the child that was kidnapped? I forgot because I'm also playing chapter one and I have to focus on which case. Oh my god, I can't speak today. On what case I am in that game, so it's confusing sometimes.
So, you're up at last.
At last.
Is something the matter, Addie?
Oh, I see. You don't remember last night, do you?
I don't.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
It sounds like I'm in trouble. I hope I didn't do anything stupid. Or I hope you can forgive me. I don't even know what I did. I'm already saying I'm sorry. Let's say this, be a little sassy.
I'm guessing whatever happened last night didn't put me in your good books?
That's putting it mildly.
What happened exactly?
It was nearly 2 when you burst in here, soused to the eyeballs from God knows where. I imagine you've probably forgotten that too.
Oh, right.
You were muttering something about peace and quiet and then proceeded to relieve yourself on my begonias before stumbling into bed.
Oops.
Charming. I salute you, O Vice Admiral of the Narrow Seas.
Good God. How embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Addie. I don't know what came over me.
I don't either. I've never seen you in such a state, and I pray that I never will again.
Well, this isn't. He's gonna say that he's not gonna do it, but he is because it's the only way to shut up that other guy, so I don't understand. One-time mistake, a bit of more than I could chew. I don't know, I don't want to say any of this.
I just bit off more than I could chew last night. I promise you, it won't happen again.
What possessed you to go out and get so drunk anyway?
I decided to stop taking the soporific. It was interfering with my ability to focus on cases. I thought perhaps having a drink or two would help me sleep, and I got a bit carried away.
I see. Well, I'm at least glad you've stopped taking that terrible medicine. But trading it for alcohol? This had better really be a one-time occurrence. Anyway, you got another message from Upton. It's there on the table, if you're feeling fit for the world now.
Yeah, let's give me the new case. I want to see it. Fordham. A new case has come in, but the police are already investigating. Details have made their way into the newspaper. I won't be able to meet you at Rowan, so here are the details. The deceased is Desiree Latham. Her apartment is at 840 Right Way. Good luck. I finally have a murder.
What does Upton say this time?
That she can't meet me, and that I should go straight to the scene of the crime.
I wonder if that means the police have started to suspect that she's giving you these cases.
Could be.
She also says news of this case has been made public, and the police are already investigating. Have you heard of Desiree Latham?
Yes, there's something about her in today's paper. I didn't read the article, though.
I'm gonna.
Where's the crime scene?
840 Right Way. It's not too far from here, thankfully.
You're sure you're feeling up to this today?
I'll be fine. The mental exercise will get me back to normal in no time.
I don't know if that's true though. So let's read the newspaper article. Harris baby found. This is my previous case. I'll read this too because I just did this. Giles Harris, infant son of Malcolm and Miriam Harris, was kidnapped days ago from his crib at the Harris family manor. Police investigators determined that Linda Walker, a friend of the baby's nanny, was the kidnapper. Walker was arrested in Pierre, Lorraine, after fleeing New Breton with the child. Giles is second in line to inherit the Harris Construction Company, a large contractor in New Breton, currently building the HMS Lenore. The airship intended to replace the fallen Ligeia, if I'm saying that right. Chief of Police Reginald Snelling, I always want to say Smelling, issued the following statement. My detectives should be commended for the outstanding work they did in finding baby Charles and bringing him home safely. Let this be a lesson to all criminals that the New Breton police always get their suspect. Well, technically I did everything, they did nothing. So, and you fired me, so, I don't know. That's not really fair. Whoops, Gascon Grand Dame found burned to death. That's my first case. Oh no, this is the case I have right now. Oh, this is what I need to read. Desiree Latham, age 63. But are they all Grand Dames? Because wasn't that other lady also a Grand Dame? I don't know. was found burnt to death in her home yesterday morning. Police were called to the scene by a neighbor who smelled smoke, only to find the grisly scene, Miss Layton in her bed, body burnt to ashes. This kind of reminds me of the article we read in the previous case with the, how did they call it? Spontaneous combustion or something, that they went up in flames. The circumstances of Miss Layton's death are unknown, but the police have not ruled out the possibility of foul play. Yeah, I would say, who sets himself on fire? Layton was born in New Britain, the daughter of a wealthy plantation owner. She grew to become one of the most loved and respected of the Gascon Grand Dames. Oh, so there are multiple. I don't understand this. Although she had many suitors over the years, Layton never married. An avid reader, writer and poet, Miss Layton had several articles published in local newspapers and magazines. Residents of Gascon said they would miss seeing her in her brightly colored hats and dressed as she walked by. So there's an entire scene of Grand Dames or something? I don't know. I'll read this too because this is about a murder, and I'll read this quickly because that seems a bit boring. Third mysterious murder has police on edge. And I think that because this is about a serial killer, there has been an article on one of his murders in every newspaper so far, that this is going to be maybe my last case, the most, how do you say it, exciting one. Yet another murder in Chamontley has the New Britain police scrambling to quell rumors. Chief of Police Reginald Snelling vehemently denied that there is a mass murderer stalking the shadowy corners of Lamplight City. We have no indication whatsoever that these recent Chumley, I don't know, murders are in any way linked. In any case, detectives are working their hardest to make sure the killer or killers are found and brought to justice, he said. The Gazette has learned that the latest victim is Ennis Bowditch, a construction worker. Police were called to his home where they found him with a single gunshot wound to the head. Could be suicide. Despite Chief Snelling's claims to the contrary, the previous two victims have also been men in Chumley who have been killed in exactly the same manner. The Gazette will continue coverage of the story as more details emerge. Yeah, you better. Prime Minister's campaign heats up as election looms. But this has also been in the previous paper, or was that maybe a mayor or something? Herbert Edward has lashed out against his opponent, Mr. Leroy. I think it was about him. If elected, will push this country back at least 20 years. Existence of aethericity. Steam technology will be detrimental to Vespucci's progress. Yeah, I think the article was about him and that he was against all that stuff. Prioritizing machines over humans. Unemployment rates will skyrocket. Edward with a comfortable lead. Which one is Edward, or is this one? Many have criticized the polls for not including the majority of the workforce, Leroy's strongest supporters. So this is about those two being up for elections.
Well, this is shaping up to be quite the investigation. I should probably get a move on before the police ruin the crime scene any more than they already have.
Any more.
Good luck, Miles. And stay away from the bars, would you?
Can't promise that. Again, I need the alcohol. Although the bill has been quiet for quite some time. Or does it just seem longer than usual? So, investigate Desiree Layton's apartment. Under mysterious circumstances, was it an accident or something more sinister? But looks cool, her apartment. It also looks a lot like that fortune teller lady, or what was she? Medium? I don't know. Let's go there. I think it's all connected.
Have a lovely day, Addie.
I look forward to your return.
You were kind of angry with me just a few seconds ago. Those ashes. Let's go here.
Looks as though we've arrived fashionably late.
Excuse me, sir, but this is an active crime scene. We can't allow members of the public.
I'm not public.
Oh, this isn't just any member of the public, Kane.
Oh, they know me.
This is Miles Fordham. He used to be one of us until he killed his partner.
Wonderful. Officer Parsons is on the scene. It's a shock the apartment isn't in a shambles.
Good day to you too, officers.
Fordham? What are you doing here?
Is this smelling?
Ah, Captain Snelling. What a pleasure.
That's Chief Snelling now, Fordham. I don't expect you follow the workings of the department much these days, but I'd appreciate the proper address.
Blah, blah, blah.
So nice to see that power hasn't gone to his head.
It has.
My apologies, Chief Snelling.
You haven't answered my question. What in blazes are you doing here?
I read about this case in the paper and thought I'd have a look. I wonder if I choose the wrong one, will that make me not being able to do this case at all? I figured investigating crime would actually give it a chance of being solved. I don't think that's what to say. I just dropped in to say hello.
The
This?
story was front page news. I couldn't resist coming to have a look for myself.
There's no respect for police business anymore. Damn meddlers. This is an active crime scene, Fordham. Leave the premises immediately.
Admit it, you need my help. If we work together, we can solve this in no time. You can try and keep me away, but I'm not giving up. What about this?
We could solve this case in no time if we work together, you know.
We don't need any help. Not even from former detectives. Parsons, I'm going back to the station. I want you to report the minute you're done here. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, don't get any funny ideas, Fordham. If you so much as breathe on anything in here, I'll have you arrested for tampering with a crime scene.
Might have already
Do I
done
make
that.
myself clear?
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I'll just say this because I don't think it's smart to start a fight with him.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad that's settled.
It's not really though. I'm gonna do it anyway.
I suppose it's reassuring that even in this crazy, ever-changing world, you can always count on Snelling to be a complete ass.
You heard the chief. No snooping around. The sooner you get out of here, the better for all of us.
Did I make a mistake? Oh, wait, I can do something.
No title. I doubt it's a diary. People rarely leave those things laying out in the open. An invitation to the Gascon Grand Dame's Ball. It seems it was held 2 nights ago at the Gascon Supper Club. Might be worth looking into, seeing as it's our only lead right now.
I agree with that. Also, I did need to snoop around a bit.
You have to hand it to her. Miss Lathan certainly had a unique taste in fashion. I bet you could see her coming a mile away.
Yeah, that's what they said in the paper.
Definitely too young to be Miss Lathan. Perhaps a relative?
I can speak to him or him. I'll try that in a minute.
Judging by these books, Miss Lathan was quite the fan of poetry. Let's just hope her taste was better than Madame Dupre's.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
I can speak to him. Why don't we start about himself?
How long have you been on the force, officer?
2 months, sir.
And how's it treating you so far?
This is where I was meant to be.
That's good to hear.
Parsons mentioned you used to be a detective?
I was, yes, for 15 years. It wasn't always easy, but I loved every minute of it.
Parsons goes on about how he's got his eye on becoming a detective, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
Is that right?
Yes, he's up for review.
Good to know.
I think he's trying to impress Snelling to improve his chances.
Parsons wants to be a detective? Now I've heard it all. As if he needed more of a reason to be Snelling's lapdog.
So it's good that I asked him this. Who's Parsons? Is that you or is the other guy?
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
I don't like to talk about my colleagues, sir.
So no.
Especially when they're standing right over there.
I understand. Perhaps this isn't the right time to be asking.
So you don't?
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I'm afraid not. You don't have clearance in this investigation.
And there's nothing I can say to convince you otherwise?
My superiors would be very upset if they knew I was breaking the rules. I'm sorry.
I think the operative phrase in this instance is if they knew. We need to find a way to get Parsons out of here. Maybe we should visit Upton at the station.
Ah. Great thinking. Alright, let's end it.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
I can speak to him, but that probably won't help me.
Excuse me, Officer Parsons.
Clear off, Fordham. The chief doesn't want you here, and neither do I. You aren't on the force anymore, so you've got to respect the rules, just like every other citizen.
He'd be respecting my fist if I were alive, believe me.
I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I just want to ask a few questions.
Well, if it will get you to leave faster.
I can speak to him. The beard. Let's talk about him.
You're looking well these days, Parsons. What's your secret?
Secret? I don't know. Maybe something about getting a good night's sleep without blood on my hands does wonders.
Why is he so rude to me?
Have you made much progress on this investigation?
Drop it before I have to arrest you for interfering with a police investigation.
Should I say, do you want to become a detective?
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Nothing.
Because you don't know?
No, because I'm not going to betray Chief Snelling's orders and divulge that information to the public.
Come on, Parsons, you know me. What harm would it do to tell me just a little bit?
Do I have to state the obvious? If it were up to me, you'd be in jail for murdering an officer.
I wouldn't make such claims without knowing the facts, Parsons. It could get you in serious trouble. It'd be a real tragedy to see your career cut short and you back in the workhouse polishing airship rivets.
You don't scare me, Fordham.
Rest assured, the feeling is mutual.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this conversation because this is not gonna
That's
get
all
me
I wanted to
anywhere.
know.
Good.
We're just gonna get in a fight or something. So let's go to Upton. What's this? Supper club. Police station. Oh right, she isn't at the coffee house anymore. She's at the desk. So she is the secretary.
I didn't
or
imagine
something.
we'd be coming back here in this lifetime.
Fordham, have you solved the case already?
I wish.
Don't I wish? I haven't even gotten started.
Well, I'm here if you need anything. Just be sure not to let Snelling see you.
Is
Yeah,
he
I
back
know.
yet?
He arrived a few minutes ago. I expect he'll be sequestered in his office today, so you shouldn't have to worry too much.
Good to know.
It's kind of funny because I keep saying these things that the game character also saying. It's almost like I wrote the
Got a
dialogue
moment, Upton?
for this game.
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Maybe I have the same kind of brain, or it's just an obvious response. I can say a lot. I want to know about the mass murderer too, by the
I
way.
see the Gazette has caught wind of this supposed mass murderer.
Yes, Snelling has been positively fuming about it. Between that and the Lathan case being publicized on the same day, it's been a nightmare for the department.
Any idea how they got the information?
I don't think anyone in the department has spoken to the press. Maybe they just have some very good reporters.
So, is it serious? Should we be concerned?
3 murders is nothing to sneeze at, but all the victims have been men in Chumley. If that changes, then things might start getting urgent.
Isn't that just the way of things? You can bet they'd have already caught the bastard if the first body had turned up in Leon.
Leads on Bill. Yeah, let's just.
Have you been able to find any leads on Bill's death?
Have you?
Not yet, no.
I don't want to get your hopes up, but I may have something.
Ooh,
Oh?
The man you're looking for, he was burgling a flower shop, right?
he was.
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice that in the last 2 cases you've had, plants have been used to drug people.
That's true.
It may just be a coincidence, but I also think it's something worth looking out for. If it becomes a pattern, there's a good chance it might be related.
But 2 different people did the drugging.
True, but in both cases, they learned from someone else.
It's a stretch, but it's better than nothing. I'll take it into consideration.
Why haven't you thought of this yourself? Isn't Bill constantly saying, "Ooh, plans. Ooh, we should investigate that case." Yada yada yada. And now she has to tell me.
I'm having some trouble with Officer Parsons.
Right, that's what I need to
You
do.
and everyone else who's ever met him. It's the problem.
He's keeping me away from the Lathan crime scene.
Of course. He's one of the most loyal to Snelling.
Any suggestions for how I might get him away so I can look around?
I might have an idea. There are several reported crimes that haven't been assigned yet, and Parsons is itching to prove his investigative chops.
I know.
He'd probably abandon his post for a good enough lead and a chance to impress Snelling.
Upton, oh good, you impress me.
Department politics are something of a specialty of mine.
So do I need to find a good lead? I think so.
Any updates on the Harris baby?
He's back home and doing well thanks to you.
I'm glad to hear it.
You did an impressive job. I admit I was a bit concerned about how you'd fare after months of taking it easy. But I suppose detective work is like riding a bicycle.
It's a guaranteed way to end up with a broken arm.
I can review the case, but
Have
I
a
don't
moment
know
to go over
why.
my current case?
I'm afraid you're on your own this time, Fordham. The walls have ears around here.
Ah,
If they find out I'm helping you, it won't end well for either of us.
Understood.
so
I'll
I
still be
can't-
here when you've solved it, though.
Alright, so I need to do that when I've solved it. I can talk about Parsons again,
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
but I don't know. Will she give me a lead? Can speak to this man.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone reading those books. I'm half convinced they're purely decorative.
Or maybe
Prime Minister Atwood, watching over the department with his signature scowl.
he was in the paper. Maybe Eddie knows something, a lead.
The old Jack and Stars. Sure was nice when that sign didn't apply to us.
Can't even read it. Unauthorized person, I think it says. I can go there.
Miles, are you crazy? If you go wandering around the department for no good reason, Snelling will have you thrown in the jail.
Yeah, I won't do that. I was just kidding. I wanted to see what happened. So I can go to the supper club, or I can ask Addie about a lead. Why don't we go do that first? Because if she doesn't have anything
Hey, Addie.
for us...
Here I am.
It's always nice to see you walk through that door.
Seriously, who enters a home like this? Here I am. If she doesn't have something for us, then at least I know that she is not the right option.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
And also, we need to speak to her about a bunch of stuff. I can compliment her and apologize. It's kind of sucking up, but let's do it.
Addie, please know that I'm deeply sorry for my behavior last night. I'll do everything I can to make it up to you. Would you like me to get some new begonias?
I don't need pretty flowers or pretty words, Miles. I just want things to go back to how they were. That's really all the apology I require.
Can I compliment you then?
You're looking especially lovely today, Addie.
Miles, don't flirt with me. Not now.
Oh, she's really
I
angry.
wouldn't push my luck with her, Miles. She hasn't completely forgiven you.
Compliment again. No, I won't do that.
Was Desiree Lathan a client of yours by any chance?
No, but plenty of the other grand dames used to gossip about her.
What sort of things would they say?
Usually they'd comment about how much she'd had to drink the night before. I got the impression she was quite the tippler. I hope you're not planning on following her example.
That would require me to burn to death in our bed.
Then I stand by my previous statement.
I can ask about her.
What have you been up to lately?
Nothing particularly exciting. My usual clients have been scheduling appointments, and I've been trying to get some new ones as well. In my free time, I've been catching up on my reading.
Anything good?
Yes, the conclusion to the dissembling mechanism was just published in Brentwell magazine last week.
What's that?
James Penstroke's latest serial. I wanted to read it to you, but you haven't been around much lately.
Perhaps I'll take a look now that I can actually concentrate again.
Yes, you could read it to me. I wouldn't mind hearing it again. It would certainly be a nicer way to spend your time than going out drinking.
So she's not gonna forgive me.
I'll let you get back to your book.
And she's not gonna help me either. So he's speaking
Your book
about
collection is always a...
reading
your
a
book
book, but he's not really doing that, so no. I'll go to
I'm
the
heading
supper
out
club.
for now.
Don't work yourself too hard, dear.
I hardly did anything. Let's go here.
The bridge to Lyon overlooking the House of Parliament. I suppose that seeing that helps the patrons of this club put on airs. That painting depicts a hand dropping a bunch of blood-soaked silver coins into another hand. Definitely sets the bar for the type of people who come here, I'd say.
So this is a classy place. Is that what he means? Let's speak to this... Oh, I thought it was a man, but it's a woman.
Excuse me, miss?
Oh, well, hello there, handsome. I've never seen you around here before. Care to join me for a drink?
Isn't it a bit early? I need to keep a clear head. I'm married. Let's say this.
Thank you, but I'm on duty.
On duty? What are you, a cop?
Force of habit. I'm a private investigator, actually.
Oh, not much better, if you ask me.
The name's Miles Fordham, and you are?
Charlotte Robineau.
Pleasure. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
I suppose not. It would help pass the time.
Yeah, you're all alone. Let's start it with this.
Were you here for the Grand Dame's ball the other night?
Of course, we all were. Well, except for Laura. Terrible business.
You mean Laura Dupre?
The very same. Have you met?
I have. In fact, I investigated her attempted murder.
See, she was also
Is that
grinding.
right? I heard she ended up in jail for torturing her servants.
Yes, it was quite disturbing.
I didn't think Laura was capable of such a thing. She always seemed so kind. I guess we all have our dark secrets.
Does that apply to you as well, Miss Robineau?
If I told you, then it would no longer be a secret, would it?
Fair point.
I want to know his secrets, though.
Do you know Desiree Lathan?
I knew her, yes.
When did you last speak to her?
Oh, it's been ages. She and I haven't had much to do with each other for a while.
Why is that?
It's really not important. We just didn't see eye to eye on a few things.
Was she at the Grand Dame's ball?
Yes, she was. Drinking up a storm as usual. Desi really knew how to enjoy herself.
How much did she drink?
Oh, I don't know. She used to outmatch me, and I can handle quite a bit.
Ooh. Let's see this.
What can you tell me about Desiree's death?
Just what I've read in the papers.
Really?
She burned to death. It's horrible. She certainly didn't deserve to die in such a gruesome way.
Did she have any enemies? Anyone who might have wanted to do her harm?
No. Everyone loved her.
Except you?
Mr. Fordham, I said we haven't had much to do with each other. That doesn't mean I didn't care for her. Now please, let's drop the subject.
Why? I want to know more.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Why, Mr. Fordham, I hardly know you.
That's why.
That said, I'm always open to making new friends.
I don't think you're looking for a friend.
Watch out, Miles. I think she's getting ready to pounce.
What if I compliment her? What will happen? Oh, I don't know. Let's try it. Fashion sense. I don't know.
You've really got a great sense of fashion and style. All the other grand dames must be jealous.
Oh, you.
I can keep complimenting her, but I don't know if that's smart. End it.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink.
Thanks, sweetheart.
These are all high-end foo-foo liqueurs and cordials. You couldn't pay me to drink that rubbish.
Really? I thought you would drink anything. Let's look at a casebook. Well, we have nothing. Oh my god. I don't know what to do then. I can keep complimenting her, but let's say first.
Miss Robineau?
Oh, it's you.
Yes.
No?
Let's do that and see what happens.
Can I just say you've got the most radiant smile I've ever seen?
Oh, why, that's very sweet of you, Mr. Fordham.
It's true. Not many women your age still have all their teeth intact.
I beg your pardon.
Whoops.
I didn't know you were such a master of the high kick, Miles. You got your foot in your mouth in record time.
Who would say that?
I just meant... You know what? Never mind.
I could say the other thing, but I don't know.
I must compliment you on your lovely hairstyle.
Oh, how sweet of you to say. Though it is getting a bit ragged. I'm having it done this afternoon, in fact. My girl Adelaide is a treasure.
Oh.
You don't say. Well, she must be talented to improve on near perfection.
Oh, such a flattering tongue, Mr. Fordham.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Oops. Is she gonna tell her that I did this? I don't think that's smart. I'm gonna get in trouble, so I'm gonna reload. Because I know what women are like, and this is better because I think I'm gonna end my marriage otherwise. So let's ask Upton about that copper again.
Got a moment?
And if that doesn't work...
About getting...
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned
I need
crimes.
to do this.
The body of a young man was found in the Hodgman River by the Gascogne docks this morning. A woman named Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage. And that's it for right now. Any of those strike your fancy?
I have to choose. What about the body?
Tell me more about the body found at the docks.
An unidentified man in his 20s was found in the river near the docks. The dock worker who reported it said that the body was bloated and decomposing. He must have been in the river several days. Dr. Edwards performed a post-mortem and determined the cause of death to be a blow to the head.
This is a serial killer.
Certainly leaves a lot of questions.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
Yes, let's go with that one.
Sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
All right, and?
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
I hope that works. Do I get multiple chances or not? I don't know. Let's see. He's still here though.
Damn, looks like Parsons didn't take the bait. He must not have considered that case enough to prove himself to Snelling.
Alright. Do I get multiple chances? I thought that would be the serial killer though, is it not?
Got a moment?
Nothing worse than a picky investigator. I wish more people were like you.
Thank you?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. A woman named Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage. And that's any.
What about the woman?
Let's hear about the gunshot.
Ethel Williamson reported hearing a sound she described as a single gunshot coming from her neighbor's apartment last night. She said she had been hearing arguments over the past several weeks, and there may have been domestic violence involved. When she knocked on the door, she got no answer, but she said she noticed the distinct smell of flowers.
Ooh, flowers.
Intriguing.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
I am.
Sounds good.
All right.
That's it.
Let's go check again. But I want to investigate those cases. Why can I not? He's annoying. Oops. Wrong location. I meant to go here. He did!
Looks like
Cool.
Parsons took the bait. Now maybe we can finally have a look around the crime scene.
Yeah. Let's do that finally, because I was so happy that I finally had a crime scene. And then I couldn't look around.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
If I'm being honest, he can be a bit much sometimes.
Trust me, you're not the only one who feels that way. I didn't have much interaction with him when I was a detective, but the few times I did weren't very pleasant.
I could tell he doesn't seem to care much for you.
No.
Although I don't think he cares much for anyone except the chief, and that's only because he's the one who gives out the promotions.
Yeah, he's that kind of person, I agree.
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I couldn't really say.
Come now, I'm trying to help this investigation. Any small detail would be useful.
Well, I haven't really looked over the crime scene too much. It's rather gruesome, you see.
Is the body still here?
Yes, what's left of it at any rate. Miss Lathan was only identified by the tattoo on her foot.
I see.
Interesting.
Has there been much progress here?
Snelling and Parsons examined the scene, that's all I know.
Do you think I might have a look, now that the initial investigation's been conducted?
I'm afraid that's out of the question, sir. I have my orders.
Too bad. Rules were made to be broken. There may be something that was overlooked. Yeah, let's say
Officer
this.
Kane, I'm trying to aid this investigation. There may have been something overlooked by the others.
If Parsons were to catch you, my career would be over.
Trust me, you won't be back for some time. I swear on my honor as a former member of the New Britannia Police.
All right, I suppose you can go in for a moment, but please be quick about it.
Thank you, Officer Kane. I promise this will stay between us.
I just love rookie officers. They're so gullible. I once got one to
Gullible.
shine my shoes for a week after convincing him it was department policy. Good times.
That's kind of mean, though. I can say this.
What was Chief Snelling doing here?
He was inspecting the crime scene.
Yes,
just
but
told
why was
you.
he involved? Is there something special about it that would require the Chief of Police to look into it?
Well, someone thought it might be related to the big case we're not supposed to talk about.
You mean the mass murderer?
Yes, sir. I could see why the chief is upset that the news has gotten out.
And is it related?
No, I don't believe so. But the news reports are beginning the public on edge.
Of course. The less information there is, the easier it is for rumors to start spreading.
True.
Exactly. Chief Snelling has a lot of fires to put out.
If that's the case, it's too bad he didn't get to Miss Lathan in time.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
Not the kind of fire he meant. So I can finally take a look. Do I really need to hurry though? Because I don't wanna. Ooh.
That's certainly a pungent aroma. I can see why the officer stuck to the living room.
Surprisingly modest quarters for a grande dame. You'd never guess she could buy out the likes of you and me 1,000 times over.
I also understand now why the game creators warned about the images in this game. They can be upsetting. Yep.
Ashes to ashes and all that. I'm glad I was buried. Cremation always seemed a bit too hot to handle.
Now's not the time for jokes, Bill.
Are you
It's kinda
serious?
graphic.
Death is the best time for jokes. Otherwise, it's all just a bunch of boo-hoo-hoo this and wah-wah-wah that. And trust me, there's plenty of that in life. Hell, you'd know better than anyone.
All right. Just shut it for a bit while I look over the crime scene, would you? I need to concentrate.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Be quiet.
Ugh, greasy, fetid, stinking ashes. Who knew the human body was capable of producing such a disgusting byproduct?
I'm surprised the coroner hasn't taken the body away yet.
Probably because there isn't much of a body left to take. Either that or Dr. Edwards knows better than to deal with something like this.
That's extremely unlike him. He'd jump at the chance to examine this body. Perhaps we should allow him the pleasure.
I hope you're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting.
I don't know what you're suggesting.
There's a tattoo on her ankle. It says, Dancing through life. Hate to break it to her, but that dance is over. This one's clean. Well, aside from the fact that the rest of the leg is burned off. I don't think Desiree will be able to give us a hand with this investigation.
Bill?
What? I thought it was funny.
That's kind of a bad joke.
Miles, do you really want to go carrying around those stinking ashes in your pocket? It'll take ages to get the smell out.
Good point. I'll need to find something to carry them in.
Oh, alright. Let's do that.
Alas, poor Desiree, a woman of infinite riches, of tastes most fancy. Where's all your money now? Come to think of it, that question might be worth answering.
So I have hand, ashes, skull, legs. Alright, so I think I saw everything here. Yes, let's leave. Is this her?
That's a nice portrait of Miss Lathan. Too bad it was damaged by the fire. The area where the artist's signature should be has been singed and is unreadable. Too bad.
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
So this is what she looked like.
Some crumpled up letters. They look to be of the romantic variety.
Ooh.
They're from the same person. One Peter Andrews.
First suspect.
It's always sad to see a case of unrequited love. I'm thinking we should find out who this Peter Andrews is.
Good idea. Now, are you finally willing to admit that looking through rubbish does yield results sometimes?
Fine, you win. But I don't think I envy your prize.
Oh, letters. Dearest Desiree, I offer you my heart, though I am sadly unable to offer you my hand. Oh, that circumstances were different. Why must life and love both be so cruel? I must continue to love and admire you from afar. I can only hope these feelings are mutual. Love, Peter? Another one? Once again, I must declare my love for you. Though you have not yet responded to any of my letters, I maintain hope that you care for me as I do for you. I remain ever faithful. Call upon me and I will rush to your side. We will embrace as Mr. and Mrs. Andrews at long last.
It looks as though Miss Lathan was in the middle of writing something.
It's an article for Brentwell magazine.
Igniting the fires within. A bit on the nose, wouldn't you say? Classic Brentwell. They have a reputation for making their writers go to extremes for their articles, all for the sake of entertainment.
Go to extremes.
Perhaps we should pay their offices a visit, see exactly what it was Miss Lathan was doing for them.
We are all familiar with the idea of an inner fire, a term usually applied to a sense of passion or determination. But what if that inner fire was of a more physical nature? That is to say, if each of us had the capability to light a real fire within our bodies. Is that what you did? You set yourself on fire?
As much as I like this painting, this isn't the time for art appreciation.
Oh, sorry.
Doesn't look as though this fireplace has been used in a long time. I suppose we can rule it out as the source.
Yeah, that would also be kind of weird because there are no ashes there. So the book isn't important. The pile? Looks like there's something in there.
Another pile of ashes under the bed. Looks as though whatever she kept underneath got burned too. Or it could be that whatever was under the bed is what caught fire in the first place. Although, there's no evidence of what started it. All that's left is a small piece of cloth. Might as well take it.
Yeah, how did they miss that?
The cloth appears to have some oily residue on it. Interesting.
So someone started a fire there.
Looks like this one barely managed to survive. Pity. It looked like a nice work of art.
There's a letter in here.
Dear Miss Lathan, this letter is to inform you that we have received
This just keeps getting more and more interesting. The law firm of Usher and Price isn't too far from here. I think it's definitely worth paying them a little visit.
Hey, I was still reading and can't read that fast. We have received your request to make changes to your beneficiary as indicated in your last will and testament. Please come to the law offices of Usher and Price at 72 Captain Street, Dorchester, so that we may review the documents and make the necessary edits. Interesting. So she changed her will, or wanted to change her will, and probably someone didn't agree with that. It's a motive. I think that's it. Was that fast enough?
Was there someone else in the room just now? I thought I heard you talking.
Yeah, sorry, I do that.
Oh, no. It's just sometimes I think aloud when investigating crime scenes.
I see.
Good save. We don't need any more police officers thinking you're insane.
Anymore? Or people at all.
No.
No, I can't look at it. Alright. Let's leave. I think I have a new bunch of new leads. Let me see. I have the leather, the article, burnt cloth. Remains of a piece of cloth. It appears to have traces of some oily residue. That's it. And I have the magazine and Usher and Price. Does it matter?
Ah, hello there. Are you here to drop off an article?
No, actually, I'm a private investigator. The name's Miles Fordham.
How exciting. You must have so many interesting stories.
You could say that, yes.
Please, come in, come in. I'm Alan Brentwell, owner and publisher of Brentwell Magazine.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You know what I also like? That some cases are during the day, and this case is clearly during the night. Because all the locations, you can tell it's evening.
Confessions of a Steam Addict by Ezra Bartley. I think I'm better off not knowing. For Whom the Bell Almost Tolled by Suki Snobs. Fascinating stuff. Useful for getting to those hard-to-reach places. In my case, that's everywhere.
What do you mean? You can go wherever you want.
For the publisher of a sensationalist rag, Brentwell is awfully well read. Assuming he actually has read all those books, of course. Empty. Too bad.
He looks kind of small in this office.
I can only begin to imagine how many lurid and salacious articles are kept in those cabinets. I can only begin.
Oh, it's the same thing. Let's speak to him.
I have some questions for you, Mr. Brentwell.
Wonderful! It's so seldom I get to answer questions.
He's very excited. Let's just start with this.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Desiree Lathan. Oh, why, she came to me a few weeks ago in response to an ad I took out requesting articles. She told me she had an idea readers would love. We agreed on 3 crowns per paragraph, and she was on her way. Come to think of it, I haven't heard from her in a few days.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Were you aware that Miss Lathan is dead?
Guess not.
What? No, I had no idea. What happened?
I'm not exactly sure. She seems to have burned to death under mysterious circumstances.
Mysterious circumstances?
Most of her body was burnt to ash, but there's very little fire damage around her. It's as though she herself just caught fire.
Oh, that sounds positively ghastly.
Ghastly.
Oh dear.
Is something wrong?
I just remembered. The article she was writing, dear God, I hope she didn't go too far with her research.
Article.
What exactly was Desiree's article about?
I'm not entirely sure. She merely came to me with the proposal.
No, don't back
She
down
didn't
now.
tell you what that idea was?
She did, but I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Tell me.
Please, Mr. Brentwell, stop stalling and tell me what she was writing about.
It was about spontaneous human combustion.
Told ya. It's what we read about in the Fortune Tellers. You know, with all the books, there were like 10 or something, I don't know. A lot. Did a lot of reading. One of the articles was about human combustion.
What do you know about spontaneous human combustion?
That's the thing. I don't know very much at all. It sounded interesting enough. That's why I accepted Miss Lathan's proposal to write the article about it.
But what do you know about it?
Only that it's a mysterious phenomenon in which a person catches fire spontaneously and burns to death. It sounds exactly as you described Miss Lathan's condition.
It does.
Do you know what Miss Lathan's research on the subject involved?
Only the one contact I gave her, a Miss Angela Maxwell at the Spectre Society in Gascon.
See, told ya. We know her.
The Spectre Society, huh? I shouldn't be surprised to hear that name again.
Are you a member?
Actually, I am.
Oh,
I
yeah.
suggest you do some research there. There's bound to be something relevant in that curious library of theirs.
Thank you. Perhaps I will.
So was I not supposed to read that yet? And I need to read it now? Or I need to go back to that library throughout my future cases or something? So I have to reread books. That's kind of boring.
Tell me about Brentwell Magazine.
We're a monthly publication focusing on both fiction and non-fiction pieces.
Ah, yes, you're publishing that serial, aren't you? The Dissembling Mechanism?
You're a subscriber! Tell me, what did you think of the conclusion? Quite astonishing, wasn't it?
I haven't had a chance to read it yet, I'm afraid.
Ah, then I won't say any more about it.
Is this
My
what
dream
Eddie's
was
reading?
to have a magazine that was well-respected and educational. But sadly, it seems today's audiences are much more interested in reading about sightings of giant bat creatures or mysterious buried treasures. Such a pity.
I hear you have a bit of a reputation for making your reporters do questionable things for their articles.
You are mistaken, Mr. Fordham. I don't force my writers to do anything. They seem to have this notion that the more extreme their research, the more authentic the articles will be.
What sort of extremes are we talking about here?
We had one writer who attempted to heighten the sensation of fear she wanted to express in her story. Damn near decapitated herself by sticking her head through an opening at the clock tower at St. Denis Cathedral. Ugh. Thankfully, she made it out alive. It would have been quite the predicament if she hadn't. Especially considering that was our most popular article last year. Oh, people have such odd taste.
I don't know if odd is the word for it.
What made you decide to start this business?
I always wanted to be a journalist. I never had much luck with any of the local papers, though. So I decided to start my own. I admit it's not exactly what I wanted, but I like to think Brentwell magazine has found its own unique voice.
Voice? More like a gurgling scream.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Brentwell.
The pleasure is all mine.
Alright, so what did he give me? Oh, I didn't look at this at all. Find a suitable container to transport Miss Layton's ashes. Alright, I need to do that. Speak with attorney, find out about spontaneous combustion. Yes. Well, technically, does he have this bad of a memory? Because I remember it, but he does not. But to be fair, he was kind of drunk and he's hungover, so... what else? Not much else. I wish I had a button in this game where I could see if I saw everything yet, but that also would not suit this game, so it's fine. It would just be a bit easier. So can I go to the Spectre Society? And I have a mini, so let's do that. The lawyers. Let's see what they have to say.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the law offices of Usher and Price. May I help you?
You may.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator, and I'm looking for Jonas Usher.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but Mr. Usher is not seeing anyone today. If it's a matter of urgent legal importance, you could see Mr. Price.
Secretary. So Usher... I don't see a door for Mr. Price.
The plaque says it's a portrait of Thomas Usher. Looks like a real go-getter.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Yes?
Why isn't Mr. Usher seeing anyone? I need to speak... let's say this.
If I may ask, what is the reason for Mr. Usher's refusal to see anyone today?
He has a rather important trial starting tomorrow, and doesn't want to run the risk of falling ill.
Falling ill?
Mr. Usher is very particular about his health. Very particular.
I see.
Alright. Leave him a message, or say this.
Might it be possible to relay a message to Mr. Usher?
Yes, you can leave a message or calling card with me, and I'll make sure Mr. Usher gets it.
And what about this?
Sir, it is of the utmost importance that I speak with Mr. Usher.
And as I said, he isn't taking visitors today.
But it's in regards to his client, Desiree Lathan. Or should I say, former client.
Miss Lathan found another attorney?
No, I'm sorry to be the one to have to inform you, but she's dead.
Dead? I had no idea.
No? It was in today's newspaper.
I haven't read it yet. Mr. Usher forbids it in the office.
But surely he's read it. Just because he forbids you reading the paper in the office.
No, I mean he forbids the presence of newspapers in the office. He fears they bring in outside germs.
Oh my god.
I see.
In any case, if what you say is true, I'll need some sort of proof.
I suppose just bringing in a copy of the newspaper is out of the question, then. We'll have to find another way.
I think the ashes. Let's say this.
Perhaps Mr. Usher will see me when he sees this.
Oh, what's that?
This?
A letter from Mr. Usher to his client, Desiree Lathan.
What? That's private correspondence. How did you get that?
It was evidence I found at a crime scene.
And how is it relevant?
The crime scene in question was Miss Lathan's own bedroom, where she was found burned to death.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Fordham. I can assure you that Mr. Usher deals primarily with facts.
Yeah, I need the ashes.
Right now, the only fact this letter proves to me is that you somehow rummaged through Miss Lathan's possessions and acquired it.
He does have a point. We'll need something a bit more persuasive.
Annoying, but fine.
I actually don't have anything to show.
Right. Please, stop waiting.
Alright, bye.
I appreciate you.
Enjoy.
It would
Can
be
go here?
unwise to barge into Mr. Usher's office having been told he isn't seeing anyone today.
Yeah, I
We
agree.
need to find a way to make him change his mind.
But I kind of want to try
That pipe really clashes with the rest of the decor in here.
Alright, and this is all nothing. Now I can't take a candy.
Seems like they've got some kind of modern message delivery service in here. Of all the things to spend your money on.
Ah, so this is where he puts in his messages and they go to his office. Alright, so let's leave because this is a dead end for now. Thank you for watching. Curious what happens next? Subscribe to my page so you don't miss anything.